Griffon Sports Insider is presented by Mosaic Life Care. New stadium, new faces, new year, and a new season of Griffon Sports Insider. Hello and welcome to Season 6 of Griffon Sports Insider presented by Mosaic Life Care. I'm Nick McCutcheon alongside Brett Easley. Brett, tonight it's GSI on location. We're in the MWSU Fieldhouse for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee's annual Griffs Meeting Griffs.
You know, it is, and it's a key event for our student athletes every year. We've got about 275 student athletes, over 10 sports, and our cheer squad, and it's good to get them out and interact with one another because it's key for them to support each other. You know what they took out this year? My personal favorite, there's no pie eating contest this year.
I know.
What is the story
really
with that?
bummed.
The pie eating contest is gone.
I didn't eat dinner in anticipation of the pie eating
We'll find
contest.
some pie for you.
Okay.
You deserve it.
All right, sounds good.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of construction going on at Spratt Stadium. The timeline began on May 1st. There's been a lot of dust, a lot of heavy equipment. Seats have gone up, beams have gone up, and it's going to be a whole different atmosphere out at Spratt Stadium this fall.
I like it a lot. I think it's coming along pretty well. I think the most exciting thing, though, is when all the students came back for the fall season and they walked on the turf. They've seen the structure starting to slowly go up and see the smiles on their face to say, hey, this is really happening, because they've been gone most of the summer. They haven't really seen a lot of it. Seeing it built is probably faster than what I wanted to get done in the first year. I mean, that takes time as you build relationships, as you get a plan together to fundraise. I think that takes a little time, probably a little longer than I wanted. But, in the end, it's going to be exciting. And I think there's other things we want to do, because I don't think my job's ever done with raising money for facilities or anything else. But this is definitely probably going to be a cornerstone. You add this with the indoor, it touches a lot of lives in our community and on our campus, and I think that's probably the most important thing to look at when you raise the money for this project. Yeah, I think everything's special, but I don't know if we would have done this without the idea of moving the field closer to the stands. When you do some things, you want to make sure that the fan experience for everybody is touched, and I think there's two things that really kind of capitalize on that. Is one, moving the field about 32 feet closer to the home stands, so that sideline atmosphere is going to be right, and you're going to be right on top of it. And then second would probably be the video board. I mean, I don't think anybody can walk in a facility and not see the turf, see what's going on there, have the opportunity to turn and look what's going up on the video board. There's other great things. The people that, the media, the suites, the clubs are great, the new concessions, new restrooms. But really, when you look at a fan experience standpoint, the field and the video board probably are the main two things that touch everybody in the stands. And I think that's real important. Mr. Craig's gift is obviously one of the better ones we've had and the biggest one we've had. But, we've had a lot of people come through and really get on board with our capital campaign, 100 years, Missouri Western, and this was one of the signature projects. And, it's going to be a very great addition to our campus. Well, I think, the goal is to have this shell done before winter hits. I think, that's real important so that we can protect what's there and get on work on the inside and then come back and finish the outside when the weather's better. I anticipate that building the suites, the clubs, the media room, the concessions to be done in March. And then I think we're really close to breaking ground over here for the video board. And I still think that's a May project like we've anticipated. We'll be pushing it. You never know how the winter is going to be in Missouri, but, we'll be pushing it. But I think you'll see, I think the fun part about the season is you'll see every week there's going to be something new. Like this steel went up pretty darn quick, and I'm pretty happy with that progress.
Brett, the stadium is looking great. It's going to get even better. But fans this year are going to have to endure just a few little logistical changes.
Well, anytime you have growing pains, things change a little bit. But I think once fans get inside the stadium, boy, is it going to look neat. But getting inside the stadium is going to be a little bit different. We will have 3 entrances this year. The entrance that we refer to as the student entrance is actually going to be the main entrance this year. Fans that need to buy tickets this season, we're going to be selling them out of a ticket tent in Lot H. Lot H is the lot right in front of Baker Family Fitness Center. You can buy your ticket, you can go right in there. We have 2 other entrances, but fans are going to need their tickets to go in there because there won't be any tickets selling the locations. So in Clark Shields Plaza, right out front of the Griffon Indoor Sports Complex, is another entrance. And also for our Stadium Club ticket holders, we will be using the northwest side of Spratt Stadium. Fans with Stadium Club passes will be able to park down there, and they can enter Spratt Stadium on the northwest side. So 3 entrances, but if you need to buy tickets, you will need to do that out of our ticket tent, which this year will be located right in front of Baker Family Fitness Center. Plenty of parking. Our pass holders will see a little bit of a change this year, but not much. We talked about the Stadium Club passes. Lot I is half construction zone, half parking lot, so our Stadium Club pass holders will be able to park there. And then we've got a nice convenient lot for them, again, down by the Stadium Club hospitality tent, which is on the northwest side of the stadium. All of our season ticket holders will get a map that kind of outlines our new layout. Again, a little rough around the edges this fall, but once inside, fans are going to get to see a great new field, a lot of great new seats. They're going to get to see construction go on almost as we speak, seeing the press box go from ground up, and I think they're going to get to see some construction on the video board this fall as well.
It's certainly going to be worth the wait, and something fans won't have to wait very long for. Griffon football season kicks off this Thursday night in Warrensburg. And while we were down on Craig Field, we were able to catch up with head coach Jerry Partridge, who gave us a look at what to expect from the 2015 Griffon football team. Storylines are few and far between for 2015 Griffon football. 15 starters back from a team that went 7-4 a season ago, including the man under center Skylar Windmiller, first team All-MIAA running back Raphael Spencer, and all-world corner Mike Jordan. All of that experience has drawn comparisons, but maybe not expectations yet to the 2012 team. It's a high bar to reach. All that team did was go 10-1 in the regular season, win the program's first outright MIAA championship, and make the longest playoff run in school history. Don't call it pressure for this group, call it hunger.
Well, there's been a few years that I've been here, and so it's one of those teams that's it's certainly in the top 4 or 5 with experience and playing ability combined back. I mean, we have on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, we have 6 kids on offense, 6 kids on defense that are in their at least their 5th year of play for us. And any coach is going to tell you that's valuable. Those are valuable human beings, and they're Griffons through and through, and they know how we want to do things, and they're not going to sweat a whole lot, just a ball game. They're going to be ready to play. We went several years there, we just didn't have felt like we were really strong at backup quarterback. That was always nerve-wracking if the quarterback went down. Now, depth has been developed a little bit. TJ kind of won the job early in the year, kind of lost the job with the concussion. Skylar had the job, and then TJ got another concussion, so it was Skylar's job. And I thought he did a nice job. He really finished the year strongly. He's the guy coming in, but we also know we have a guy in TJ LaFavre that can get it done as well. We have very experienced playmakers in the receiving core. Tight end, obviously Raphael Spencer's been one of the better backs in the league for the last couple of years. Your quarterback's got years under their belt. 4 of the 5 have experience. Emmett Wester's probably going to start right tackle, Leonard's younger brother. But he's had a great camp, he's done well, but those other 4 are really good. Our guards are kind of on par with what our corners are, honestly. They're really, really good. And defensively, like you said, I mean, all those kids in that D-line have played. We got 2 nose guards that could start anywhere in the league, Giannis Matalis and Richard Obie at the D-ends. A lot of experience at the linebacking core, maybe except one of the 4 spots has some, but has talent. The 2 corners are big-time players, and the 2 safeties is probably the most inexperienced we have, other than the kickers and punters. But they're really, really talented, really good football players. Right now, probably Tanner Pettit has the edge at kicker, but we have two true freshmen there, and Tanner has Sean Gailey and Tanner Pettit. Tanner's probably has a slight edge on the job because his leg's just stronger. He gets a lot of height on his ball. We need more consistency there. I mean, we've been really, really good there, and we've been spoiled there. At punter, Matt Vincent has kind of stepped up. We like Luke Tice and think he's going to be a really good punter, but we're probably going to get a red shirt on him. Plus, we got TJ LaFavre there that we can mess with. So, but I think Matt Vincent's really come on the last couple of days, and we'll be good there. No, we're not inexperienced in return game. I mean, Brandon Clark is outstanding. We have some really good people there, and I think we need to be really I think our coverage units and our return game will be really strong.
When GSI returns, we take a look at yet another season opening matchup with Central Missouri. But first, some guy named Bo.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em.
Well, with the start of another season, it means another Emmy Award-winning edition of Beatboxing with Bo, the season opener. And Bo, you've been working out all off season. You've even been practicing a little bit with the team. Well, he held in there just fine. You can see the steel curtain right there. Well, let's very important. Bo, you're heading down to the game in Warrensburg on Thursday night. What are you going to be tailgating with? What's on the menu?
Mule meat.
Mule meat. Well, that sounds inviting. Well, Bo, you are rarely wrong on your prediction. Season opening game. You've had all summer to study this. Plus, we've won 11 of 12 against Central Missouri. You're not going to switch that up this year, are you? We need a prediction.
I don't see nothing different this year. We have the Mules number. Griffons win it big. 250 to 4.
250 to 4. Why in the world would you go with that score?
You ought to know me by now. Total pain.
Brett, Bo just kind of continues to leave a trail of interns, student workers, graduate assistants, whatever. They all fall in the wake of Big Bo.
Well, number one, don't get in his way. And number two, he may not always be right. He's never wrong, though, is he, Nick?
He's never wrong, and it's surprisingly, he's actually been close a couple times.
I look forward to seeing that prediction hopefully come true on Thursday night. I just want to win by one. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Well, you know what? Here we go again, as we mentioned. Missouri Western, Central Missouri, Week 1. It's the 4th straight year the Griffons and Mules have opened the season with all 4 going the way of the Griffs. Missouri Western has taken 11 of the last 12, and Jerry Partridge's 13 wins over UCM are the most for him against any current MIAA football member. It's just something he can't explain. I can't explain it either, Nick, but I tell you what, it's been a great run. Central Missouri is a great program. You just have to be better than them year after year. So all that matters is Thursday night. They're going to be ready. I think we're going to be ready. I hope we can do it again.
And the defense rises up time and time again. And Missouri Western defeats the University of Central Missouri by a score of 10-9. What a game.
I don't know. Luck. There is some luck involved. There is some fortune involved. Matter of fact, probably the biggest deficit in all the ones was their win. I mean, they beat us by 21 points. I think we've had a couple there. We've stretched it out pretty good and got some leads, but for the most part, it's come down to the last minute or two and some big play at the big moment. And I'm sure down through the years there's been a certain amount of doubt. There's a certain amount of belief in us that carries over to it. But it's like I say every year to the kids, I said, just because we've done this doesn't mean we get to do it again. Just because we've done this doesn't mean they get to do it. It's about these two teams, and we got to withstand some early emotion, no question. They're going to have a lot of emotion early, and you could see that 2 years ago down there when they kind of took the lead late, and then we just rallied and won late in the ball game. So we're going to play our best. You like to play somebody that you're going to be far superior to in talent, but that's not going to be the case here. And so, again, they have the same uneasiness. It's just who go out there and make the fewest mistakes. And, one of our goals is for the Griffons not to beat the Griffons. I'm sure that's in Central Missouri. That's the Mules not to beat the Mules. And it's going to be the team that goes out there and makes the fewest mistakes that has the best chance to win.
Well, I can't explain it. It doesn't matter. What's in the past is in the past. The only thing that matters is Thursday night, and I think Central Missouri is going to be ready. This Griffon team is going to be ready too. Well,
you'd certainly expect so, and who knows? You can't explain it. Other teams have had the same kind of luck against Missouri Western that we've seen the Griffons have against Central Missouri, but we'll certainly take it. We're not going to complain about it. Well, somebody who's not going to complain about something as well is Griffon soccer coach Chad Edwards. Edwards' soccer team has been picked to finish 6th by the MIAA coaches, right where they finished after a 9-9 season in 2014. It was the program's first winning season, one of more than 20 team and individual records that were shattered along the way. Along with that came the program's first ever berth in the MIAA tournament. While his fellow coaches see his team matching last year's success, Edwards wants to surpass it.
That's a challenge we placed on the kids the night that we left Hayes on the way home. I said, let's remember this feeling. Let's remember how we got here, but let's make it better. And throughout the course of the off season, that was a driving force behind our efforts, was to remember that game, but let's get better and let's be able to execute when it matters in those type of games. So, just that it's nice to look back and understand that we had that success, but it's not good enough. We got to continue to get better and make sure that every day that what we're doing is making an effort to get to where we want to be, and that's win a game in a conference tournament, let's host a conference tournament game, let's make the national tournament. And so everything that we do is with that focus. And now that you have that taste in your mouth about going to the league tournament, that was really special. But now let's win a game. Certainly we're on the radar now in the league, and which is great for us. I want those expectations placed on us because that means you've had a good season the year before. And now, yes, we're going to have to execute that much better this year. We're going to have to show up every game, and we're going to have to score more goals. And hopefully all three of those things will happen, and we'll have we'll have even more success than we did in 2014.
Well, a memorable year last year for Griffon soccer. Fans will have a chance to see Griffon soccer right away this year as they become the first team to play competition on the new Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium this weekend. It's the MIAA GAC Challenge.
It is, and in the little holiday weekend soccer, come on out to Spratt Stadium. You can see the Griffons play 5 o'clock on Friday night against East Central Oklahoma, and then 2:30 on Sunday afternoon against Harding. Admission's the right price. It's absolutely free of charge. Nick, another Griffon team coming off a record-setting year, and that's Coach Marion Carbon's Griffon volleyball team. 22 overall victories, the most since 1998. A school record 16 MIAA victories. And again, Coach Carbon's team, they lost some great players from that team, but they got a lot of great players coming back. They want to keep that bar set high headed into 2015.
Stand on the bus stop, your feet start clapping. Good feeling, something bad about to happen. Oh, something bad.
This year we're really looking forward to building on what we accomplished last year. And in some respects we achieved a lot, and then in other respects we didn't quite reach some of the goals that we had set for ourselves, being qualifying for the regional tournament and really competing till the last week for a conference championship. We were in the mix for a long time, for a lot of the season, and then took some tough losses late in the season that kind of put us out of the running for that. And so we're really looking to build on that. We're going to do it with some familiar faces and also a lot of new faces. And so we'll really rely on Jesse Thorup and Jordan Shohan to provide some stability. Lindsay Partridge also has a couple years of experience now, so we're going to need that because other than those three, everybody else that at least is healthy right now is going to be new. And so, if we can get Kelsey Olean back and healthy, she'll add into that mix of experience, but everybody else that you'll see will be a fresh face, at least from last fall. I think we're going to set our standards just as high. I think talent-wise, we feel like with our incoming players and with our returning players, the talent is every bit of what it was last year. And so the biggest difference is the experience factor. But we do have 2 returning first-team all-conference players, and there aren't very many teams around the league that can say that.
Coach Carbon's team, 2 long road trips to begin this season. This weekend they head north to Michigan, Big Rapids, Michigan that is, as they compete in the Ferris State Invitational. Friday's opponents include matchups against Saginaw Valley State and host Ferris State. Saturday the Griffons will square off against Mercyhurst and Wisconsin Parkside.
Hopefully Griffon volleyball gets off to a good start once again this year. And Brett, not to sound like a broken record, but there were a lot of broken records last year. So when GSI returns...
I like broken records of that nature.
Yeah, absolutely. When GSI returns, we take a look at another memorable season from the Griffon golf team, plus a new leader for the Griffon tennis team. GSI will be right back.
When you have Missouri Western on your chest, you feel like you're unbeatable.
Missouri Western, to me, it's proved as a big checkered flag for me. It means a lot because it's the end of the road. It's the most important place for me. It's forever. It'll be the most important place for me because it's not about where you start. It's where you finish. And I'll be a Griffon for my whole life.
This is everything. This is everything. It's not going to define who you are as a person 20 years from now. It's not. But it's everything right now. You know, it is everything right now. It's going to come down to the finite and minute details. You got to know, we're not sitting here and we're not going to play soft. The most passionate team, the team that's come to give everything they've got. The matchups are too close. The matchups are too close, so it comes down to who's willing to get on the floor, who's willing to hit somebody. You're going to remember how hard did I play in the playoffs to get me to the next game. How much did I give tonight to get me to the next game? You got to believe in each other, support each other, play for each other. Well, Brett, last year for the first time in Griffon golf history, a representative from both the men's and the women's teams represented Missouri Western in NCAA regional play.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. Quite a feat. Both Corey Knight and Celine Lim returned to their respective teams. And now for head golf coach Greg Dillon, he just looks for consistency for both teams with that goal, get the teams to NCAA regional play this year.
Well, the men's team has got a year under their belt. Everybody was kind of thrown into a pot last year, and it was really my first recruiting class. And, you know, there were some ups and some downs. We had some great rounds, and we had some not so good rounds. I think the biggest thing is we want to be consistently better this year. And, you know, the core group has got a year under their belt now, and now they've had some summer, tempered by some summer play. And so obviously you got to expect that we're going to be better than what we were. So the potential's there. We got a bunch. We've got at our 4 and 5 spot. It's going to be kind of a shootout. We've got about 6-8 kids going for those last 2 spots. So they're all young. So let's just hope that they can feel their way around and have the opportunity to play competitive Division II men's golf. On the women's side, we've got the seniors, Amber Shivington, Anna Kleppel, and Callie Wilson. They've been here for a number of years, and you know, I know that they want to see this program and they want to be part of the winning program. You know, every year that they've been here, they have seen this program get better. Pushing them, we have a junior in Maddie Ramju that has really taken strides to be that anchor that you can count on every tournament that she's going to be in competitive. We have Celine Lim and Tiffany Yabout that were sophomores. Obviously, Celine has been a great addition. She made it to postseason play. Her work ethic has really pushed this team along. And, you know, between those two, you know, they are pushing for spots on the team. And then we add the freshmen in Shexing Ong and Jenna Kosmatka, which makes the mix even more. So now you've got, you know, 8 kids or so trying to get 5 spots. And you hope that they work this summer to make sure that they're going to be ready for the higher level of competition that's going to be involved in just making the team. And then once they make the team, okay, once we get into the tournaments, that equates into better scores for us and and hopefully this team is going to get into the postseason play.
Well, Brett, the future certainly looks bright for both the men's and women's Griffon golf teams. I know that's something you're really excited about.
Well, it is. Number one, I'm a golfer. I'm proud of our golf teams and Coach Dillon and Coach Haley Robinson, who joins us. Action begins this weekend. Griffon men have the first opportunity. They'll be at the J.R. Watkins Invitational, hosted by Winona State in Minnesota. The women get started after Labor Day. They'll be down in Olathe, Kansas, as they compete in a regional crossover tournament that's actually hosted by Southwest Oklahoma State.
Well, and it's not just Griffon golf, it's not just soccer, it's not just volleyball that had great years last year. So did Griffon tennis. Now this year, The tennis program will be under new leadership as Sean Becker was just recently announced as the next head coach of the Griffon women's tennis program.
You're right. Becker comes to Missouri Western from Philadelphia University, where he led both the men's and women's programs. Becker has a track record of building programs at the Division II level and takes over a Griffon team that won more matches last season than the previous 3 teams combined. Mara Smith was also the Griffon's first All-MIAA selection in more than a decade.
Well, Coach Becker just got onto campus this week, so as you can probably hear in the background, craziness going on campus this week. Again, we're at the Student Athlete Advisory Committee's Griffs meeting Griffs, but we will be sure to get Coach Becker on GSI just as soon as we can, hopefully next week.
You bet. When we come back, it's the Mosaic Life Care Minute.
Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Well, now, Brett, we turn to a subject that's certainly close to all of the people gathered in front of us here, the student athletes, coaches, and staffs at Missouri Western, and that's concussions.
Well, it is, and in this series of segments, our Mosaic Life Care Minute tonight, enjoy part 1 about prevention of concussions.
Concussion is an injury that has to do with the forceful movement of the brain.
Can happen from a blow to the head, a jolt to the head. It can also happen from a blow or a jolt to the body that causes the head to move. It changes or alters the way that the brain works.
An easy way to think about a concussion is think of an egg and think of the yolk inside the egg. And when that yolk moves, that's like your brain moving inside your skull, and you don't want that to happen.
The size of the athlete, whether he's a 300-pounder or 150-pounder, really is pretty much irrelevant.
If in doubt, get checked out.
Every concussion is different.
A lot of times people get headaches right off the bat, but sometimes that's not always true. That doesn't always happen right off the bat. Dizziness, maybe some ringing in the ears. You're going to look for blank stares. They may not be able to tell you where they're at, what they've had for breakfast. They may not be able to tell you what they're doing.
I could feel it, and it was just off. There was something about it that I had no control over.
Hearing doors shut and everything would make your head just pound, and lights would just be crazy. Like, just little things that you take for granted you just can't do.
But it's important to remember that some symptoms may not develop until 2 or 3 days down the road.
So just because you don't have symptoms right after the event doesn't mean that you don't have a concussion.
If in doubt, get checked out.
In summary, concussion symptoms are varied and can be grouped into 4 categories. Physical symptoms, including headache, dizziness, and nausea. Cognitive symptoms, including problems with memory, attention, and feeling slowed down. Emotional symptoms, such as sadness, irritability, and feeling nervous. And finally, problems with sleeping.
Mosaic Life Care, proud partner of Griffon Athletics and presenting sponsor of Griffon Sports Insider. Certainly great information there, Brett, and we thank Mosaic Life Care for being the presenting sponsor of Griffon Sports Insider, and great information there.
Well, it is good information, and again, you're going to be an athlete. Unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. Concussion, all injuries are serious. Concussions, very much so, and it's good to pay attention to that protocol, and certainly do what you need to do to get yourself back in the game.
Right. Well, hopefully the Griffon training staff won't have any injuries or concussions to worry about this weekend. A very, very busy opening week in Griffon country.
Well, it's time to get going. Football Thursday night at Central Missouri. Our volleyball team heads north. Soccer at home. The first home action this year. They'll be at Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium. We remind soccer fans, if you're coming to the game, we would like you to park in our Stadium Club parking lot. That's the Chiefs camp area. We'll have some signage out there. And I think fans will realize that is a much more convenient way to come to Griffon soccer games. They can enter on that northwest corner of the stadium. We ask they sit on the north side bleachers. We often call those the visitors bleachers, but plenty of seating over there, concession stand, restroom facilities. Come on out and support Griffon soccer on Friday and Sunday. And then football home opener a week away. But Nick, good ticket deal. Fans have probably seen our 6 for $36 ticket offer. That is essentially a season ticket for $36. That does include the Northwest game. If you want to take advantage of that offer, get online to our website, gogriffons.com, or call 816-271-4481.
Well, that wraps things up for the opening segment of the 6th season of Griffon Sports Insider presented by Mosaic Life Care. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next
Live on
week.
location went okay, don't you think?
I think live on location went all right.
He didn't get a pie in the face.
No.
I didn't get a pie in the face. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
Go Griffs.